we're coming up on, we're on 8:30, and Mr. Thomas here has been very patient in the corner, so I'd like to let him get the last question in.
I'd just like to ask one thing, you know, if I could speak word for word like Thomas Jefferson and all the founding fathers. I mean, this government, we all know, everybody in this room grew up in a time period with, wow, what a great country, this fantastic country. And just in the last month, or whatever it is, I've gathered all these papers. Now, this doesn't have anything to do really, it don't have anything to do with race. It has to do with the politicians that are in Washington, D.C. and the people who put a bomb in power. And I feel like the United States of America is crumbling from within, because the politicians that we have in Washington, D.C., there's only a handful of them that are worth, I mean, look at the shape that the country's in. It was well planned by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. They're not doing their job. They're just flat out not doing their job. So we all know, we've heard from Glenn Beck, we've heard from Sean Kennedy, we've heard from Laura Ingram, we've heard from all of the talking heads all over. You know, they're nitpicking at each other right now, and they're not talking about what's really important about America. The most important thing about America is, you know, about the jobs going overseas, about the security, everything that's happening right now is well planned, because Russia and China has always been our enemies, and the ACLU is doing everything they can to destroy the church, separation of church and state. Thomas Jefferson said it best. If you have the Bible here and base it on God's laws right here, you take another book that represents the best of the government, which was the Patriot's Handbook, and on the bottom of that book is Caroline Kennedy's name on it. So you take the very best of the government and you just sit it on top like that. It's well balanced. Separation of church and state. The church is not so powerful that it runs the government. The government is not so powerful that it runs the church. It's equal. It's a basic, solid foundation. You take away that Bible, every form of government that's ever been, it'll crumble. And that's what's wrong with America now. We're crumbling, and the majority of the people in this country don't realize what's going on right before their eyes. They just don't understand how easy it is. And, you know, Glenn Beck, Billy Graham wrote a book called Storm Warning. Glenn Beck got a book out about how easy it is for the communists to take over this country from within. And they've been doing that ever since the end of World War II. And by the way, that came from the Senior Citizen Center. Got a picture there. I'd like to donate that picture to y'all, because in my opinion, I would rather shake the hand of the veterans of all the wars than I would any politician, especially nowadays.
Thank you, sir.
Because the politicians nowadays... Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry,
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
Well, we kind of stuck Neil with that project, and knowing it's going to be a very heated discussion, but it's one that needs to be talked about. Now listen here, what's going to happen is, as a group, constitutionally, we can't, without the governor's permission, go out here and start doing paramilitary maneuvers. Legally, we can't do that. But let me say this. If they come to kick your door in the middle of the night, we're not going to be there. You're going to be by yourself. So just take that for what it's worth. That's how it's going to be. So you have to decide that the Constitution gives you your individual right to keep a barrel on. And have as much ammo as you want. Hopefully made in Virginia. Now,
Less than 10,000 rounds.
yeah. Well, we've been here for a couple hours, and I'm more motivated now than I was when we got here at 6:30. And I was pretty wired up at 6:30, let me tell you. But I look forward to this. Kind of, for me, like sharks at a feeding frenzy, you know. I love it. But yeah, we got a lot to cover after the meeting, though. So I want to prompt you to come up and take all kinds of chances on this pistol over here, and kick into our contribution can, make some suggestions, tell us how we can improve, and by all means, get as many copies of this legislation as you can get to put it to everybody you know, and investigate it for yourself. Let's turn up the heat tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day they go into session. Let's turn the heat up. That's what we can do, and it won't cost much. I mean, David Bowers backed up for 44 cents. You know what I mean? It don't take much. appreciate y'all being here, and let's get with Michael and get signed up on that bus trip.
Great meeting.
Thank you.